This is Yehoshua's Daf Yomi Shiur, where the Daf continues daily until the complete revelation of Mashiach ben David, Messiah the son of David. Today we'll be studying Tractate Chullin, page 82, starting with 82a, top of the page with the words Ve'amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Ve'amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Oy men hoya Rabbi Shimon, paras divdei zagai marachto, Rabbi Shimon ben Abo, Rabbi Yochanan paras chatos. Eino Mishnah. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish says, in explanation of Rabbi Shimon's statement, Rabbi Shimon would say that the red heifer can be redeemed with money, even once it has been slaughtered and placed upon its pyre in preparation for being burned. Therefore, Rabbi Shimon states that there could be a time when the heifer was fit for consumption, meaning if it was redeemed. Why then does he deem one who slaughters it exempt from liability for transgressing the prohibition of itself and its offspring? Rabbi Shimon bar Abba said that Rabbi Yochanan said the statement with regard to the red heifer of purification is not considered part of the Mishnah, and Rabbi Shimon agrees that its slaughterer is liable for transgressing the prohibition of itself and its offspring. That's the Gemara asks, and is the slaughter of the heifer whose neck was to have been broken not considered an act of slaughter that is fit? But didn't we learn in a Mishnah in Sota 47a? If a heifer was set aside to have its neck broken, to atone for the murder of an individual whose murderer was not known, and then the murderer was found before the heifer's neck was broken, the heifer shall go out and graze among the flock, and it is not consecrated. Evidently, before its neck is broken, deriving benefit from it is not prohibited, and its slaughter would be one that is fit. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish said, in the name of Rabbi Yanai, the statement with regard to the heifer whose neck was to have been broken is not considered part of the Mishnah, and Rabbi Shimon agrees that its slaughterer is liable for violating the prohibition of itself and its offspring. Umi amar Rabbi Yanai hachi, ve'amar Rabbi Yanai, Gevul shemati ba v'shechachti v'nazbin chevraya lomar yiridata denachal eitan osarta. The Gemara asks, and does Rabbi Yanai actually say so? But doesn't Rabbi Yanai say, I heard the boundary, meaning the stage beyond which the heifer is forbidden, but I have forgotten what it is? But the group of scholars were inclined to say that the heifer's descent is to a hard valley, where its neck is broken, is the action that renders it forbidden. And if it is so, let him resolve the contradiction by saying, here, where deriving benefit from the heifer is permitted, and its slaughterer is liable for transgressing the prohibition of itself and its offspring, is referring to an act of slaughtering that is fit and is performed before the heifer's descent, while there in the Mishnah, where Rabbi Shimon holds that there is no liability for transgressing itself and its offspring, is referring to slaughtering performed after its descent. At that time, deriving benefit from the heifer is already prohibited, and the slaughter is therefore not considered fit. Amar Rav Pinchas b'rei Rav Ami Anan Rishmei Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish Masdinan la Egla Rufa en Mishnah Amar Ravashi Ki Avinan Varafavi Kashilan Mi Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish Hachi Rav Pinchas the son of Ami said, we taught the statement in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish himself as not as a quote from Rabbi Yanai. The statement with regard to the heifer whose neck is broken is not considered part of the Mishnah. Rabbi Ashi said, when we were studying in the study hall of Rav Papi, the statement was difficult for us Did Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish actually say that it is not considered part of the Mishnah? Rabbi Yochanan amar mishas shchita. Rabbi Shimon amar mishat lekicha v'amrinan mai taime. Said Rabbi Shimon Lakish, but it was stated that the Amoraim engaged in a dispute concerning the following issue: from when is one prohibited from deriving benefit from the leprous birds? Rabbi Yochanan says one is prohibited from the moment of their slaughter, and Reish Lakish says one is prohibited from the moment they are taken and designated to be leprous birds. And we say, what is the reasoning of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish? Gamar kicha kicha meglarufa. His reasoning is that he derives it via verbal analogy from the terms taking, meaning kicha, Leviticus 14 verse 4, with regard to the birds, and taking kicha in Deuteronomy 21:3 with regard to the heifer whose neck is broken. Consequently, just as driving benefit from the heifer whose neck is broken is prohibited from the time of its selection, so too must driving benefit from the birds be prohibited from the time of their selection. Clearly, then Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish holds that deriving benefit from the heifer whose neck is broken is prohibited while it is still alive. Therefore, its slaughter is one that does not render the animal fit for consumption. Accordingly, Rabbi Shimon would exempt its slaughter from the prohibition of itself and its offspring, as is taught in the Mishnah. Ela Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba Amar Yochanan Egla Arufa Eina Mishnah. Eina Mishnah. Okay, Rabbi Chia bar Abba said that Rabbi Yochanan said the statement with regard to the heifer whose neck is broken is not considered part of the Mishnah. This resolution of the difficulty was articulated by Rabbi Yochanan rather than Reish Lakish. Okay, that's the Talmud, and now we start a new Mishnah. Okay? New Mishnah. There's a new Mishnah and a very short Gemara, and then another new Mishnah. Okay? Mishnah says, Shnaim shlakhu parabibana, Eza shlach rishon yishchat rishon, v'im kodam hashen yizacham. With regard to two people who purchased a cow and its offspring, where each purchased one of the animals, whoever purchased his animal first shall slaughter it first, and the second one must wait until the next day to slaughter his animal, so as not to violate the prohibition of it and its offspring. But if the second one preceded him and slaughtered his animal first, he benefited, and the one who purchased the animal first may not slaughter it until the next day. Okay, and now for the Talmud. Amar Rav Yosef Inyan Dina Tanan Tana im Kalamashen Yarez Zoriz Beniskar Zoriz Shelo Avad Isura Beniskar Tika Achil Bisra. Rav Yosef, the Gemara says, Rav Yosef said, we learned in the Mishnah that the first purchaser is granted precedence only with regard to the matter of a court judgment, in case the two purchasers go to court each demanding to slaughter his animal first. But there is no prohibition against the second one slaughtering his animal first, if no claim is brought to court. Likewise, the sage taught in the Braita, if the second one preceded him and slaughtered his animal first, he is diligent and rewarded. He is diligent because he did not violate a prohibition, and he is rewarded because he eats meat already that day. Okay, that's the Talmud, and now we start a new Mishnah, and then a Talmud, and then that will be it for this Amud in the neighborhood. Okay? Very good. Very good. Couldn't help myself. Okay. Mishnah. Shachat parvachar kach shnei b'neha soivik shmoinim. Shachat shnei b'neha v'achar kach shachat soivik esarboim. Shachata v'espita. V'esbaspita soivik shmoinim. If one slaughtered a cow and thereafter slaughtered its two offspring on the same day, he incurs 80 lashes for two separate actions violating the prohibition against slaughtering the mother and the offspring on the same day. If one slaughtered its two offspring and thereafter slaughtered the mother cow, he incurs the 40 lashes as he performed a single prohibited act. If one slaughtered the mother and its daughter and later that day slaughter its daughter's daughter, he incurs 80 lashes, as he has performed the act of slaughtering a mother and its offspring twice. Shachat tav yesbas bito v'achar kach shachat bito sofek es arbaim somachos omer mishumur meir sofek shmoinim. But if one slaughtered the mother and its daughter and its daughter's daughter, and thereafter its daughter, he only incurs 40 lashes. So someone, the whole cow mishpacha, you have the cow, its middle daughter, and its granddaughter. The cow, its daughter, and its granddaughter. If it's shechted the mother and then its granddaughter, and then the daughter, he doesn't get it because it's not considered mother and its daughter on the same day. Even though, right, it's a granddaughter. It's not in succession. Okay, he only gets 40 lashes, as he performed a single prohibited act. What was the prohibited act? Was that he shechted its mother and its daughter, but not, right, the baby. I see. Sumcha says in the Ivrei Meir, he incurs 80 lashes for slaughtering the daughter on the same day as his calf and its mother, as that act comprises two separate violations of prohibition. Okay? Talmud. The Gemara says, Amai also vispino, Amarachmana, v'lo beno v'yoso. The lo sakadai took the Tanya, also vispino, ein li ela also viet beno, oto viet imo minayin. With regard to the statement in the Mishnah that if one slaughters two calves and thereafter slaughters their mother, he incurs the 40 lashes. The Gemara asks, why does he receive lashes? After all, the phrase, it and its offspring, Leviticus 22:28, is what the Merciful One states in the Torah, and not its offspring and it. The Gemara answers that thought should not enter your mind, as it is taught in Braita from the phrase, it and its offspring, I have derived only that the prohibition includes slaughtering the animal itself first and its offspring afterward. From where do I derive that the prohibition also includes the case of slaughtering the offspring itself first and its mother afterward? Keshu omer lo tishchatu harei kan shnayim hoketzad echad hashechet es hapara ve'echad hashechet imo ve'echad hashechet es bena shnayim achroinim chayovim. It is derived in the following manner. When the verse states, you shall not slaughter both one day, Leviticus 22:28, this is referring to two people who are prohibited from slaughtering on the same day, as the word slaughter is phrased in the plural. How so? If during the course of a single day, there is one person who slaughters the cow, and then another who slaughters that cow's mother, and then there is another person who slaughters that cow's offspring, the two latter people are liable, the first of them for slaughtering the mother after its offspring was slaughtered, and the second person for slaughtering the offspring after its mother was slaughtered. Okay. We'll stop here. It's at the end of the